much.
Chop life.
You're 20 something, you're chopping like what will you do when you're 50?
You will chop life.
Okay, they play.
I dropped out December 28th. It is my exam. 1 week, people were calling me, telling me to stay in school, that it's not that bad, that I can do it. Just 5 years.
Bow for the result, though. Nothing to discuss, cause I take by default and without any.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever episode of Uni Tales, a show where I invite your favorite and my favorite guests to talk about university life and every other thing in between. And we'll wrap up with interesting games. Today I have with me a very interesting person. I've been following her for a while now. I think I found her on YouTube. She's a YouTuber like me, so kitavibez, right?
Yes. Hello everyone. Thank you for having me.
I mean, thank you for honoring my invite. And we're supposed to do this a long time ago, but I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How was your weekend?
Well, I think my weekend was nice. I traveled, I was at Illinois, so I just got back.
Yeah, from where?
I went to see my friends. Spa. Just enjoy my
Bed. Yeah, so I want to talk about the big issue. I saw the video recently.
It was January.
This year.
Yes.
And that was like a second semester decision.
That was like, it was personal. I dropped out December 28th. It is my exam.
So you did not write first semester exam?
I didn't write the exam. I had read for the exam, I was ready, but the night before, I was just asking myself, why am I doing this?
Oh,
Why am I doing this? And I just realized that
it's not worth it.
it's not something I want to be doing long term.
Kita dropped out of OAU December. That's crazy. After 3 years.
I won't say 3 years, 5 years. I
I
spent
was-
5 years in UAE already.
But like academically, you're in your
Okay.
third year.
Yes, academically.
That's crazy. And it's a 5-year course, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Um,
Like I've been in OAU the longest, but the thought of dropping out, it hasn't. I know people normally say, "Oh, it's so hard," but me, OAU is simple. Maybe because I'm doing what I actually want to do. I saw your story, and it's because you are not doing what you wanted to do. So what was it you wanted to do?
So initially, I came in for medicine. So
Okay.
I think I scored 279 in JAM and I ended up in soil science. So everything about how I got to my faculty of agric was annoying me. And I know I remember this inauguration thing that they did and they were telling us about how agric is not that bad, like it's a good college. But I was not buying any of it, and I just knew from my first year that I was going to drop out and I was not going to finish from the first year. So I made up my mind within the first 3 weeks of me being in UAE that I was going to leave, and I would have to find alternative. So from that point, I started thinking of other things I could do.
So what made you stay longer?
Well, it was because I had not gotten to the point where I could leave. Before I left, I made sure that I had like 6 months savings. If I was not working or anything, I would still be able to eat because I'm not relying on home.
Yeah,
At
of
this
course,
point,
in Nigeria.
I can't even call them and say, oh, I'm broke, help me, save me. I've already chosen my path, so I had to wait till I could afford.
But you know, some people, when they are not doing it, even if they honor the admission, they'll write jam again. They'll
I
go
wrote,
to new
I wrote
school.
3 jams. I wrote the 3rd jam.
So the jam of last year,
No, I wrote in my part 1.
yeah.
I scored 249, but by that point I was done with school.
You're already academically tired.
I was tired.
You don't even want anywhere again. You don't want any course
I
again.
said I did A levels
Oh, to which school?
for Uni Learning. I did IGMB. I scored. I think I had 15 or 14 points.
They did not pick
over
you.
16. I didn't apply at all. I had gotten to a point. I had like academic fatigue. I don't know if that's a thing, but I was tired.
You're tired.
I was tired, and then got to a point I was not asking myself, why did I pick medicine? So I realized it was not even my dream. It was like I was just manipulated.
So if you were to do it all over again, what will you go for?
When I was in SS1,
Mm.
there was a point where I wanted to change to art class because I'm a very creative person. But I'm also very brilliant. So everyone was like, oh, Adeshawa.
The waste of something.
No, you're so you can do medicine and blah blah blah. And it got into my head, and so I stayed in science class. So I would have just gone to Atlas and probably read English language or something like that. Something else.
Let's talk about you, your background, social life, and everything, family.
If it's social life, I have it's non-existent. I mean,
You don't have friends. You want to be among all those people that be like, I don't have friends.
I have friends. I have very close friends. I've been friends. I have like I said 3 friends, and we've been together since secondary school.
Okay.
But when it comes to like being outside, I'm an introvert. It's like extreme introvert. I'm usually just
Inside or yourself. Your siblings.
I have 2 brothers and
Senior or
younger brothers.
how did you feel?
About me dropping out.
Yeah.
But I told them, you focus on you're doing what you
What they are doing.
Yeah, you're doing what you want. I was not doing what I wanted, so focus.
So how did your parents take it? Let's talk about that. In Nigeria,
You know, the night I called my mom, I called her, I was crying. I was like, I'm tired, I'm no more going. The first time
wait, is it the first time you will tell them or you've been telling them?
I've been telling them.
Okay.
So the first time I told them was in part 1, after 2 weeks of being in OAU. I called them and I said, I am done. I don't want to go again. I'm not going to the classes because you know the way 1000 sit
Science.
and
Roman Paul.
faculty of agric.
Yeah.
We are so much like it was just horrible for me. It was like a nightmare.
Okay.
So I called home, I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she called all my uncles, aunts. For 1 week, people were calling me, telling me to stay in school, that it's not that bad, that I can do it. That it's just 5 years, you'll be done before you know it.
Yeah.
And then in part 2, I called them again that I'm tired, I'm not doing this. And my dad told me, he said,
By fire, by force.
he will disown me if I don't, like, if he will disown me or something like that. So I got scared because I didn't have any source of income. So I told my mom, I said, if I can make $3,000, may I drop out, please? If I make $3,000, will I be allowed to drop out? And she was first like, and because she felt like, oh, this girl, where will she see? She cannot do it. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, stay in school. And then I went ahead, made over $3,000 and called back home that I've done it all. May I be allowed to drop out now? She said no. And motivated me. So I had like this whole pattern where I'll go to school, I'll come back, my friends will motivate me to go back, my mom will motivate me. So it was like I was relying on motivation.
Anytime when nobody call, you feel down.
I'll go on to YouTube, why you should stay in school, why? Because like the more I thought of it, the more it just felt like I was out of place. So I think getting to the point where I just called home. I think my cousin too helped with this. He told me that you don't need this thing. And I was like, I know. But then so I just called home and I told my mom that please don't make me do this. I'm frustrated and I'm getting depressed by being here. I'm getting depressed, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled. I talked for like an hour till we reached the point where she said, okay, if you promise you will go back, but not to OAU. So
there are many other easy routes like in education. There are so many courses, so many, how will I put it, certificates that don't need 4 years. You see, you can be in business school for 2 years. You can do other little minor media stuff.
For something. I asked her, I said, Mommy, am I an extrovert? Do I like being outside? She said, no. So why are you making me do soil science? There's no point in which I can do this thing without getting my hands dirty. And that's not me. So my daddy did not take it.
Likely.
He did take it.
Have you gone home? Since December?
Yeah, I didn't go home. My dad came to Ife. So we had this talk. We met at a restaurant and we had this talk and I explained everything to him. And he was still not convinced. I traveled to see him. He works at the Polytechnic for the semester. I went to
educated.
So he's in the education line. So it was very, and then I met with his HODs and they were all motivating me, to go back. Like, you can go to Uni, you can go to Kwasu, you can go to, and another university. Just go back. I'm not ready yet.
So has he taken it in now? Has he come to an agreement?
There's a point you get to when you are not relying on your parents that they can only beg you, they can't
force you again.
They can't force you.
Right. So how is life outside dropping off, outside school?
Peace of mind.
You sure?
Peace of mind. I'm telling you, the first 2 weeks, it didn't sink in well. I was anxious. I was like,
wait, the first 2 weeks was even exam period. So missing exam, how was it for your mind?
When I first missed the first paper, I was like, there's no going back. There's no going back.
There's no even begging. You can come and beg any lecturer. It's not test, it's exam.
There's no going back. And I felt anxious, kind of scared, questioning my decisions. I went back to read some of the journals I had written, explaining to myself that you know what you are doing, you know what you're pursuing, but it was scary. But then after that, peace of mind.
I think it's even in that period, people that don't know, we start like, where's Kita not writing exam?
You know, from time.
Where is she?
From time, people knew I wasn't serious.
But your department is it that plenty? Soil science, in part 3, I think you guys would have been getting smaller.
The problem was that we were still merged together with other departments.
Okay.
Till part 5. So it was very uncomfortable.
Like how many are you guys in class?
About maybe 500 to 600.
500 to 600.
But
at least
soil
200
science,
people will know
like,
you personally.
I thought it.
At least 200 people will question the fact that where have you been?
When I go to school,
Uh-huh.
I just had maybe 4 friends in my department.
Okay.
I'm not somebody that will be outside
Like
and you notice. I mean, maybe because sometimes I like to dress extra, but then most times I just blend in. I don't even want you to know because I knew I was leaving, so I didn't feel the need to
associate with people that much. Alright. So back to our life outside school. How is it?
I mean, see, I even wish I was like an extrovert. This would have been the time to travel and do things. But I'm just focusing on building my business right now, growing my community, creating more content on social media, creating digital products, and I'm building an agency.
What agency?
It's a digital marketing agency. So we handle website design, SEO, and things around that line.
And you've not missed any opportunity because you dropped out yet. Maybe because it's the early on.
You see, the thing I've always thought is education. If I'm truly going for education, you can get educated at any time. Yeah. If there are people that go back age 40, get BSc, and then proceed to masters and then PhD, I can do the same. It's a matter of making money. It's all about how much you have.
Yeah, find out.
But the major thing people have told me is, at the age your mates are already getting married, you now go back. But then I don't work with anybody's time.
But what about the job, like 21, between the age of 25 to 27, that time frame for opportunities?
See, this is what I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I've never really been someone that would think that, when I finish, I'm going to get employed.
Yeah.
I've been a freelancer for the last maybe 3 years. So if I need a job, I know how to code, mail, pitch my skills.
Okay. But even in agents, like for housing and all those things, people don't give their house to like uneducated people. Just like preference, they want somebody that is educated to handle their stuff. Apart from the fact,
I would say literate. You see, there is a difference between being I'm well read, like when it comes to different things. I'm very, very what's the word? But I'm well read, I read a lot. So when it comes to things like that, I would say I'm pretty solid. But before a client asks that I've made so much online, and not once have they said, where is your degree? Where is your certificate? They don't care. Can you get the job done? And I can get the job done. And I have the evidence to show that yes, I've done this for this client, I've done this for this client, this is the result, this is what I did for them, and this is what happens. So that's what they care about.
Yeah, maybe. That's nice, right? I just believe everybody is different. The thought of dropping out them is big. It's so big for me. And it's not like I'm getting pressure from anybody to stay in school. Me, I personally want to stay in school. I will not use the certificate. If I use it, okay, but I just want to finish it. I think the only thing I have thought of dropping is doing ICANN. I'm doing ICANN and it's stressful. It's tiring. It's exhausting. Mentally, you question your ability to read and pass because it's hard. So I've been thinking, should I drop it? Should I not drop it? By the end of the day, I've started it. Let me just finish it. And I think that's what most people are on now. When they get to like part 2, part 3, they'll be like, I've started it. Let me just finish it.
I'll say the difference between me and that is, I don't care that I've started something. If at some point I realize that this is not going to get me closer to where I plan to be, I'd rather go start over somewhere else. Get there.
So what will you say to people that is feeling the way you felt?
I would say you have to have a plan, like a very solid plan. You cannot drop out and do nothing.
True.
I did not just I like to tell people, because people from my community, I like to say I did not just drop out. I dropped out with a solid plan I presented to my mom and to my dad, and that was why they felt a bit at peace. I explained how I was going to make money to my mom, gave her 5 different ways that I'm making money, explained my finances. Like, it was a whole process. So she should know that I'm not wasting time. I'm not just wasting time. So if you want to drop out, please examine it. If it's just like, oh, I'm tired, school is stressful, please stay in school and probably deal with the stress. For me, it was beyond it being stressful. It felt like a waste of time for me.
Social media now. Anybody can do social media. You don't need a particular degree or certificate. What of people that don't want to do social media? Like, their future ambition is in the line of school.
Stay in school.
But they don't want to stay in school. Or they are not doing well in school. Usually, they don't like the school they are in. Maybe the school personally.
But you can change school. You can change school.
In part 3, you know, the age, the shame, the everything.
Me personally, you have to have a thick skin. For me, if you are saying anything, I go just dey look you say I pay for you, I did like. But then if you know you can, I don't know, not a lot of people can possibly answer this.
Wait, so people have shamed you for dropping
I
out?
had an auntie that called and she talked and talked.
Not motivational talk.
It was not motivational, it was different angles. After the call, I even broke down, I cried. But my friends were there, so felt like I should have to cry. But then people be nasty with words, so probably need to have really thick skin because it's not going to be easy. So
I can't even imagine my whole family calling me for any reason at all. So it's crazy.
I mean, like,
and everybody will have to call because I'm very sure your mom will be like,
my mom did not. She really didn't say anything to anybody. And when people started to get in my business and they would call her, she told them that they should go and, if they feel like,
talk to you.
And if they want to pray, they should pray. That they should just let me be. And let's see what will come out of it. So I feel like my parents trust me that much, so I can't afford to fail. And there's still a promise that I'm going back. So
yeah, will you go back?
For sure. I like school. I just don't like going.
But you won't go to medical area again.
No, I'll probably just do something along the lines of sociology or philosophy.
That's still a 4-year course.
The problem was not the year. It wasn't how long it was. It was the point of it all. It felt like a waste of time. And the course itself, I don't care.
So apart from them planning their stuff, how will you tell them to come out to their parents? Because the coming out is the worst. But I know some people that are already doing well, like
it depends
outside of school. They are not even collecting money from home again, but they still can't drop out.
It depends on the relationship you have with your parents. I didn't tell my dad anything. Found out by himself.
Your mom will tell him, obviously.
She did
not tell him.
Found out by himself.
And when he found out, you already dropped out.
I could not go back. Though he asked me, he was like, do you want me to go to your school, talk to people and get you back in? I said no.
It was more,
I left because I'm not interested.
and it's not that nobody was bothering you actually.
I'm not interested and I was not failing.
Okay.
My GP was still like, if I was serious about getting my GP to probably a 4.2, this is it. But I was not interested. And so my GP went from maybe 3.7 something down to like 3.2 because I was not coming to classes. I was just showing up for exams.
And I think that science class, there's a lot of attendance. Do they take
I
attendance?
think attendance, but
Does it matter?
I don't know. I think I didn't care enough to find out. Even if the lecturer is threatening that they'll take attendance or anything, do your worst. And I just didn't care to that
Those
point.
attendance, impromptu tests, you were missing everything. That was at second semester, part 2 second semester.
I was already missing things, and I just see there's a point at which when you're learning something you don't care about, it becomes irritating. It becomes very
Even
irritating
to read will be
to
hard.
read it. And I kind of, let's just say, if I read something once, I
You
remember.
understand.
But I don't even want to see it. I don't even care enough to want to even
Read
open
it.
it or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know, the kind of relationship you have with your parents will determine how you're going to break the rules and the kind of parents you have. And then you have to weigh the risk. Is it going to be worse if you just stay and finish versus if you have to deal with your parents?
Versus dropping out without telling them.
Yes, which one is?
I know of my neighbor, he dropped out since and he did not tell his parents. It was like after school, you know, when it's time for NYC, your parents will be calculating in their mind, they realize he dropped out since.
I personally feel parents should make it so easy for you to just.
For communicate with them.
If you look at it, this is just you gaining skill and knowledge for you to work. And we are in an age where you can gain skill online. You can like. There are different ways to even achieve success at this point. So I believe you should not make it so hard that someone will feel stuck learning something they don't even want to learn.
What about people that their guardian feel is just like a face? They are lazy.
See, most times it's hardly ever laziness.
You sure? Some people are actually just lazy.
If you are lazy, it means you will not even do well outside if you drop out. So probably should just stay in and at least have like a degree.
Yeah. Alright, that's all for talk. So we're already at the game segment of this podcast, and today's game is 5 to 1. I'll ask questions like 5 things, 2 things, 3 things, downward to 1 to 0 to 1 actually. Mention 5 things you liked about OAU. Mention things. Like things that you felt, okay, I enjoyed this. Thanks for the experience. You're thinking, damn, is it that bad?
The school is fine.
The school,
It's fine.
the aesthetic,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
giving.
Nice pictures, different picture spots. Basketball. I used to play
You play
basketball a lot. Yeah.
Okay, 2.
I met some friends.
Okay, 3.
Wow.
Two more, just 2 more.
Ah, wow. Was it that bad?
You did not go on road trip.
It was a nightmare trip for me.
All
I
the
came
road
back
trip.
angry.
All the road trip.
I did not do
What
anything.
of parties? Like
I only
amphi
attended.
parties, amphi concert.
Oh, I went for one concert one time. It was like one Christian podcast, and it was fun.
So that's your number 4.
Yes.
What's the last one? Food. You don't enjoy food.
While I was still there, I attended one other party. So does that count? Party.
Okay, socializing in general.
I tried to socialize.
I'll take that one. For me, that's just 3. But okay. What's your fashion ick? 4 fashion icks that you have out. Just general fashion ick that you'd be like, ew, why is she wearing that?
Someone is sagging.
1.
Then you know this
Bucket hat.
bucket hat. Those fluffy ones.
Okay, that 4.
Eh,
You don't like it?
mm-mm.
Okay, 2.
What else?
Bucket art. I said so
No, I
many
like
people
the
come.
normal pocket art, but those fluffy ones, I'm just like,
Another one said paso.
that's the it's everywhere.
Everybody was wearing it.
Then people that wear socks, then they wear palm. Have you what slides
Yeah,
and stuff?
slides, yeah. You don't like even in Amatan.
Like if you are cold, maybe stay inside or something, or wear shoes.
Sure, not
It's
socks
just
and
weird.
slides.
Like you don't look at it and like
Especially when it's not different color, like pink
yeah,
socks.
they want like
Pink
3 or 4
socks.
colors. Like please stop.
Everyone.
Hmm. Okay, that's some things like okay, I feel like wow,
That's all.
not something I think about a lot, but oh. mm,
Okay, we'll take that. We'll take
Oh
that.
wait, this is the very last one. People that wear oversized clothes, no shape, no fitting, like you're young, you're still young. Take care of yourself. Stop it.
Why are you attacking me?
No, not
No, I'm not talking about this. Like on a lazy day, I like big polo. You don't like it?
like you're going out.
And now if you're just going out,
Well,
the thing about going out is out can be different for so many people.
yeah.
Like now I live in Mayfair, and whenever I come out, it's like I'm in my area. Why some people they are living in maybe if they want to come to Mayfair, they have to like dress.
I guess that's why.
So sometimes you just see some people and be like, why is she dressing like that? She might be in her area. You get, so I tend not to judge like that again. Before I do, I'm like, why? Sometimes if I go to some restaurant, I'm like, why are they dressed like that? And they could just branch from their house to buy something. But to me, because I'm traveling from, I feel like, oh, why are you outside like that? Do you get?
But you know, some people they overdo it too. Just
I like the big shirts and bomb shorts combo. Especially on very
like that.
slim
That's nice,
girls.
that's nice. It's nice.
Fine.
What I'm talking about, I know the people I'm
Yeah, target.
I know the people I'm
All right. 3 things now. 3 TV shows or movie
that I
you've
like
watched recently.
recently.
Yeah.
I saw one movie, Friends with Benefits. It was actually
It's an old movie. I
yes,
think
I
I've
just saw
watched
it
it.
recently. Then
Yeah.
Queen Charlotte.
Uh,
Oh, who was this? What's the line?
do you love me kind of
Something.
something?
I love you. Yes.
Yeah. From the moment I saw you, I love you. I can't pray when you're not near. Oh, I
I will
like it.
stand between the heavens and the earth. I will tell you where you are. Do you love?
That movie makes sense actually.
Yeah, and I think the third one I saw recently. Wow, I'm an anime person, so can I mention an anime?
I can't even know it. But you can mention.
Vinland Saga.
All right.
It's so nice.
Yeah. Have you seen Young Africa, Young and Famous?
I'm not the watcher of this one.
You've not seen it.
That Annie's situation.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get myself involved in the story.
They're already becoming reasonable, I feel. They're already understanding themselves. I think at the beginning she did not understand. So now I guess she's coming to terms with what she has to face. And
Yes,
she's
I'll
living
check
with
it
it
out.
like that. Number 2. 2 rumors you read about yourself, either it was true or not, but you are like, how do you know? Rumors.
People even talk about it.
Is it like is it like you have to have heard something that you're like, what did I do? It could be anything. It's not compulsory a scandal, something or a controversial stuff.
Wow.
You know anything.
I don't have like such a very big circle that I'll just people know my business now.
Alright. Let me change it.
Okay.
2 things you can't go without.
Hollandia yogurt.
You were ready for that question. How are you ready for that?
Hollandia yogurt. Hollandia yogurt.
The blue, the yellow,
blue
the
one.
blue one. And
and and and fruit and fiber.
what's fruit and fiber?
It's my cereal.
Oh, that's it.
That's those are my two joy givers.
You put them together.
No, separately. So
Okay.
if I don't want to cook,
Fruit and fiber.
or Hollandia yogurt. But Hollandia yogurt,
One advice you would give
anybody.
anywhere, anybody about any topic. Just one advice.
This life, chop it.
Chop what?
Enjoy your life. Chop life.
Till you go broke. Better don't chop your life.
No,
I mean, I feel there's still time.
chop life and make money.
Like, be happy, but don't chop to life too much.
Chop life.
You're 20 something, you're chopping life. What will you do when you're 50?
You will chop life.
Okay, they play. You go broke and die of hunger.
No, chop life.
Don't chop your life.
Chop life.
Don't
Do it.
seriously. But life should be fun. But
I've always had the notion that enjoy life. You know.
there are some things you shouldn't still do in the name of enjoying life.
No, I feel it depends on enjoyment. Is varies. But for me personally,
No, if you tell me to enjoy life, do you know what I'm thinking about in my head?
What?
Okay. Okay.
what I think.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
No, for me, no, I live life on my terms.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you're more of a religious person, right?
Actually, I'm not religious at all.
Yeah, sure.
Do I look religious?
You feel you're giving the energy of like, okay, Abi,
Delete it. I am not religious.
you go to church, yeah?
I don't.
You don't go to church. It's a lie.
We're going to stay here for long.
When last did you go to church? Last year. Crossover.
I went for crossover.
Okay.
But I went this year. I went once because I had like this fine gown I wanted to wear.
To take pictures.
So that was like February.
Yeah. I get that. Do you know what? There was a day I was like, I saw because she said, "Oh, I'm going to church. I want to go and take pictures." And this guy looked at me and was like, "You're going to church to take pictures." I'm like, "Why else did everybody go to church? Like, why do people go to church?" I thought they go like I wanted that picturely Christianity vibe on my Instagram. I'm like, I'm going to church.
I took my pictures and I posted them on Instagram.
Yeah. Now, if people even ask you, "Are you going to church?" and I say no, but I'm not going to church. I'm not going to church.
That's like,
I'm busy.
You don't go, and I'm just like,
I know when I have to actually when I feel like. So yeah, thank you for watching today's